The word gospel comes from Old English godspell, meaning good news. But the parable from the Gospel of Matthew proclaimed today does not seem at first glance good news for anyone. We heard of a king who had a wedding banquet for his son. He invited many people, but they did not come. They even beat and killed the slaves sent to invite these people. And so he ordered that a much wider group be invited to the wedding banquet. But then we heard someone at the banquet was not dressed wearing the proper garment, and this person was thrown out of the banquet. And since Jesus likened this to the kingdom of heaven, and then said, many are invited, but few are chosen and elect, we find ourselves despairing of whether or not we will be able to sit at that banquet. But it's important to remember in its original historical context, the people hearing this parable knew that most people had but a few sets of clothing, one of which, much more expensive than the others, was a special garment everyone had at home, which you wore to weddings. And so when they heard someone was at this banquet not wearing the wedding garment, on their ears, this would have been someone who did not bother to so much as swing by their house and change clothes. This person's not at this banquet unprepared. This person is at the banquet in contempt of the host. And so, we should know we are those people called to the banquet, and we are asked to perform the most minor, understandable preparations of just opening our hearts to God's mercy. And if we have any doubt that in fact this is good news, we heard also those words from the Gospel of John proclaimed for the Sunday before the elevation of the Holy Cross. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that all who would believe in him would not perish, but would have eternal life. For God sent his Son into the world, not to condemn the world, but that the world may be saved through him. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Doctor.